Welcome. I'm so glad that you can join me here today. 277 pages, excerpts from pages 687 and 88 out of 850. And this here episode is an audiovisual version of my novel named after my ministry, TheSovereignLight. And this is a course in metaphysical spirituality. And my name is Reverend Maria Arvanitides. Welcome. I'm so glad that you can join me here today for this episode. And as always, we look forward to participating together. Won't you join me in today's activation and affirmation for the day that we are going to expand on some more, even more for that matter, whatever is inspired to come out of me as I read this, pro bono, if you will. It's a bonus. And let's further expand and uncover and look into this thing called plasma being, and to make us aware by asking the question so that we may receive some revelations as we're going through this. What is a plasma being? Again, with this continuation. Point number 6. The idea of being and a plasma. Religion has had an upper hand and manipulating the neuroplasticity of the brain. The ability to have discs and or balls of light take shape into holy ghosts, that which the self can understand to be made possible, and when nearing its thought vibrations in this way. Earth is a huge vibrational organism, and that has split off from the older, heavier, dense, and darker version. And in this way, our perception through the intake and input of this information that we perceive through these two eyes is what already brings that duality. is that whatever brings that from the two eyes that we split into the meaning, into the left and right brain. And this is in particular to why we see things in a sphere, like around everything, like the earth is round. Like, for the most part, this is what our realization of truth and all our facts that we come to agree upon are the majority from this perspective that we view the world as as humans, right? As anything that our eyes, even slightly to the side, will give us a different reality altogether, a different perception altogether, that we might not be able to connect with one another in this way. And the realities that we see through the perspective of an ant, or the perspective of a cat, or some of them even have night vision and their eyes are different, and so we allow them to be and experience their reality in these kind of parallel existences that connect and engage with ours in their own reality. And it's really quite fascinating. And so it's not just from our point of view, it's not just from our perception, but the experience of interacting with the rest of these plasma beings and everything that is made of this substance. And as we continue on, the more aware we become of things, the more things become, in a sense, like miracles, like magic. So, with that said, let's begin to ground ourselves and release that monkey mind brain of where we need to be and everything we need to do, and the anxieties that take us into our expectations of the future and the disappointments of what we need correcting from the past and what might pull us out or push us out of this here and now moment. And if we just focus and pay attention on our breathing, very simple, and breathe in and stretch if you have to, whatever feels good, that relief, that release. Ugh. And let it all out. And just breathe in from the soles of your feet and from above the sky and ethers, and just let it all in through your crown chakra into your heart space center. Congregate there, anchor, ground, and breathe out into a resonating field that is your plasmic, holographic, morphing every minute, reanimating us and animating us into this thing that we observe as a background. And as we breathe in and out, really feel this. And whenever you're ready, won't you say these words out loud with me? Sounds good. I clear all my memory from within every cell to elevate, that I may carry, and as a transmitter of cosmic awareness, to become a plasma being. And breathe in and out. I clear all my memory from within every cell to elevate, that I may carry, and as a transmitter of cosmic awareness, to become a plasma being. And take another deep breath in and out. I clear all my memory from within every cell to elevate, that I may carry, and as a transmitter of cosmic awareness, to become a plasma being. Well, my friends and fellow audience, There is no becoming or to become. It's just becoming, again, opening our awareness and activating and being actually aware of it, that we are all that we are. And the more aware of it that we are, the more we can accept the gifts that it brings in this reality of reverence for all things. And that first must start for us. We must respect ourselves and know the meaning of it and really feel it before we can be able to respect others. Really, authentically and genuinely. By bringing this reverence, by accepting it, by receiving it, by becoming aware of it, of who we really are. And in this way, we can relate to make it more real and factual, to reflect in our scientific world and kind of merging in and out, weaving it together for the left and right brain to come together into a complete version of itself in wholesomeness. And this is what it means to bring the what has to make sense, and if it doesn't, then it's not believable in theory. And what are we experiencing that really doesn't make any sense? So in a sense, we're weaving the two brains together into a wholesome, pristine beingness of what we come to truly experience as ourselves. And let's continue on. So dark matter is composed of dark plasma, and that radiates dark photons, being light, with a certain resonance of electromagnetism. Contact is made. Through the advancement of the spiritual self, the emotional body is no longer defined as it once was, when trapped within the physical, and it becomes universally shared and omnipresent, where we know and share everything in an empathic way, and we can continue with all our senses into extra sensory perceptions when we allow ourselves to become whole again. And so the universal holographic field of quantum consciousness. This is why the fear must clear away firstly, and before the self can further connect to these ideas. For instance, when people channel, what in a linear time perspective, to see it and be aware in that, what am I tapping into? Am I tapping into these slivers of myself through time? Am I tapping into my past selves? Am I tapping into the parallel probabilities of my existences, of my future self, perhaps, and of many previous lifetimes before or in front of? Religion has many a myth and on dark plasma mind phenomena beings as ghosts. jinns, messengers, and other such guided imprints. Now, we can see everything under one guise that we can all come to agree upon and kind of fit in or mold it into that vision. And what doesn't not fit into that mold, then we become frightened of it. So, and when we know truly where we're at in this individuation of the collective, then we're not going to really be scared of anything, are we? So, let's continue on. The plasma self, as a receptor, can connect from within the dark blood cells, the spaces in between, and where the invisible universal morphic field is accessed after the barriers and that hold physical resistances have been eliminated. Well, you see, these limitations that we must see through these eyes to input and output are reality. And it's not so. When shape-shifting occurs, we begin by empathy, and through this, we feel what it would feel like to be in another being's experience, whether it be from a different species or a gender, and let's say through the eyes of a cat. What a reality that must be. And the more we can fully become aware of what it's like, truly, we become it. In a way that we can input information from another's way of looking at things through their own eyes. Or I as a singular, or many from the perspective of a fly. And not what we imprint upon it as being dirty. Because when you look at a fly, it's constantly cleaning itself. And it wants attention, and it wants to show that it's there. And it wants to share things, and it wants to dabble and sample and everything. It's not like how we make things out to be, or how others prejudge or label things. When we truly are connected to all that is around us. And so let's continue on. Let's continue on to page 688. I clear all my memory from within every cell to elevate, and that I may carry as a transmitter of cosmic awareness to become a plasma being. Some experience reality as moving really fast and others really slow. And some have a shorter lifespan than others that have longer lifespans. So these are like really amazing perceptions from certain perspectives that we can experience. And so let's not resist, because when we resist, we find a whole bunch of disorders that can arise from it all. So, and so let's continue on with the read. By becoming the observer, the self can witness the antagonistic realities, and then imprint its own preference to feel with creation such expression. The source ground zero, and from this dark fluid ethereal overcast of nothingness to the great beyond, is a place where all resistance can melt away. Dark matter can be felt as an external membrane that can hold within it most of its energy and hollow, fluid like velvety embrace around the self. A monad kind of structure that can calm and help to soothe with. From this state of consciousness, the melatonin can be accessed, and perhaps the feelings of what serotonin experience can bring. With intelligence, all plasma spirits came from and can go, and is as simple as a meditation to remotely view or sample with the pineal gland and open up to such vision. It is a feeling, a feeling guidance that on a multidimensional level is a common faculty, and to entertain with this creator vision. So we can shift our reality into another one to experience, and we can also shift ourselves in how we even look, if by only very subtle to notice. And we do this with these initial steps by practicing and moving forward. The purpose is to transcend beyond the unseen that metaphysical awareness can allow, and to dismiss of physical laws that fear to accept such capabilities of shape shifting into lighter than air, and who glow and dematerialize. Practice to take notice, and perhaps through the higher mind spirit abilities, such sending and receiving thoughts can send, and sensing the universal cosmic presence with the self to experience the subtle awarenesses and of these changes that we're actually experiencing. Just by observing and not trying to change anything, and not resist anything, and just receive and take in and become aware, as we say, of that we're always morphing. We're in a morphogenic field. Every time we breathe in and we breathe out, a change happens. It's as simple as this awareness. And then from there, we're not to control it, we're to connect with it as best we can and guide the force. The force that's with us. This thing we come to label in knowing as the will. Thank you so very much for joining me here today in this lesson of this 242 lesson that we might be here today, bringing us into like a third year of 2022 on the 2nd day of October. And I will leave you with today's affirmation. And if you would like, just for this affirmation, I do have it separately where you can just continue on just saying the affirmation or just listening to it over and over again. It will also be posted with this here episode. I clear all my memory from within, every cell to elevate, and that I may carry as a transmitter of cosmic awareness to become a plasma being.